alternatives instead of going back. I'm not anti-gun. I'm not finished. I'm not finished yet.
You can't have a commentary all afternoon. I want to talk
No, hold on. Let me finish. What we're not going to do, we're going to fix the gun laws. I'm not anti-gun. I'm anti-people that don't need to have those guns. Those are 18-year-olds who don't mentally have enough sense in order for them to know that when you pull a gun, that you're supposed to use it. And if you're not...
I got your point. Now, let me respond. Let's be clear about something. There's zero tolerance for violence. There are those over 18 who have not responsibly utilized guns. In Chicago, from Chicago to Atlanta to New York to Baltimore, young black babies, boys and girls have been shot down every weekend. Now, what I like to see is the same kind of damn demonstration going on there that's going on here. Is that fair? Is that fair? No, wait a minute.
So while I give this clown Vernon props for actually having any kind of dialogue with the people instead of running away like DeSantis, running away and silencing and shutting down people from being able to talk to him as if he's above us all, right? He's above the people, right? And Abbott, same thing. People want to talk about Beto, about how he's putting on a show in a conversation talking about a big showman like Abbott, right? You got people that got no problem with all these showmen and actors in the Republican Party, right? When they put on their show and they play their games, these people got nothing to say. Now Beto, now he want to get in on some of the action. Now all of a sudden it's a problem. Tribalism. I give him props for actually having any kind of dialogue, but I got to call him out on the fact that the dialogue is not a good faith dialogue. He doesn't want to talk about the actual issues. This is what the entire Republican Party is doing. They're deflecting. They're playing all kinds of games, making all kinds of random suggestions about, oh, it's the doors. But they're not pushing any bills. Which Republicans are pushing bills to make things safer, right? You don't like what the so-called left, what their approach is. But where is the Republican approach? I mean, not just talk, right? Not rhetoric. Like, the same way when it comes to CRT, oh, we're going to ban this and we're going to pull these books out in CRT, right? The same way. Where is that kind of fire? I mean, same argument he's making right now. He's trying to say, you guys got all this fire about these kids getting killed, but what about the kids in Chicago? Whataboutism. That's what he's doing right now. So right back at you. Where is the Republican fire pushing to do anything at all to keep these kids safe? All they're spending their time doing is trying to change the topic and deflect and play games, and they want to make oh, you don't even know what an AR-15 is. So props to him for talking to this person, but it's not a good faith dialogue or conversation when someone's bringing up a point, and rather than you addressing the point that they made, you want to say, well, what about this thing? No. Talk about what she's talking about. That's what we want to hear. We want to hear, what are your solutions for the problems that are happening? We don't want to hear about Chicago. We're not in Chicago. This is Texas. Texas.
Is that fair? Because a life is a life. Is that not fair? Now let me go to somebody else. Let me go to somebody later.
And then he allows her to make her point. She was talking for a good minute. He didn't really interrupt her. He let her talk, so that was good. But then after she says everything she says, he's got nothing to say about what she says. He wants to talk about Chicago. And then she's not even allowed to call him out on that because he quickly, let's talk. I want to talk to somebody else, right? Because he's not interested in an actual dialogue, right? He's doing better than Abbott, better than DeSantis for being, look at him with the people, talking to the people, right? Not being honest about it, but still, that's still better than just dismissing them and running away and having your security guards blocking everybody.
I should not have an 18-year-old able to get access to an assault weapon. That's all. We have teachers like me that are afraid. Can we agree on that? Can we agree on that? I want you to know, they're your homes.
I think, you know what? I don't think 6 and 7-year-olds should be pushed towards gender identity. A lot of you said you want to say. I'm gonna say what I want to say. So there are a lot of things children shouldn't be subjected to. So a lot of things. So you know what? Let's have
Very, very disingenuous. And this is just what you can expect from American politicians, regardless of party, but especially from the Republican Party in this way. The Democrats absolutely have this same kind of trait. I mean, even people like AOC, for example, I would definitely see her using this tactic, but in a different way. She would use it she has an opportunity to use her power to push for something that the people who voted for her want, and then she doesn't do anything. And then she'll deflect and try to change the topic and try to play games and just insulting the intelligence of the people that she's talking to. You don't know how politics works, right? He's doing the same kind of thing. I mean, ultimately, what is AOC doing that I'm talking about, and what is he doing that I'm talking about? They are sidestepping an issue that they don't have good answers for, right? They are being exposed with something and they run and hide, right? She's talking about, 18-year-olds shouldn't have a gun. Well, there's lots of things 18-year-olds shouldn't have. And you know what? 18-year-olds shouldn't be getting a CRT. Like buzzwords, right? That's all I got. CRT, woke. That's it. You can starve to death. You can be out on the streets. You can die in a hospital because you got no insurance. Sorry, wouldn't want to be here, right? But all we want to talk about is woke, and CRT. Insulting, absolutely insulting that he thinks he can talk down to the American people like this.
Have a conversation. You know what? Can I tell you what you just said was how you feel? And let me be clear about this. It's worth me thinking about what you just said. And I will. 18-year-olds.
What she just said is what she feels. Facts don't care about your feelings. Not condescending at all. Condescending at all. And unfortunately, these are just random, regular, everyday people. They don't have the training or skills in rhetoric to be able to handle a guy like this. He's basically taking advantage of that. He's doing the Ben Shapiro. But Ben Shapiro, obviously, he's a champion in rhetoric, right? He knows how to really, really twist your mind. But still, he goes to these college campuses and he talks to people that are at a severe disadvantage. It's not about their positions being wrong or right, but just it doesn't really matter what your position is if you can't argue the position, right? And if you're going to be debating with somebody like Ben Shapiro, who's very, very skilled at it, he's done it so many times, he's got all the buzzwords and talking points, he's going to destroy you. Whether you are right or wrong, it does not matter. Destroy you just on having a severe advantage. Now, this guy, he's not on Ben Shapiro's level by any means. But because he's a politician, this is what he does, he still has an advantage, significant advantage over these people. They're going to say a lot of things that are incorrect. They're going to make some points that are emotionally based and not be able to back it up, which allows him an opportunity to insert his mumbo jumbo in there, right? They may not have the skills necessarily to recognize the tactics he's using in terms of deflection and changing the topic. Now, they're not idiots, right? So they are pushing back a little bit, but their ability to push back is going to be very, very limited by their lack of skills. And this gives him an opportunity to take advantage and manipulate them and also misrepresent himself.
My thing is, being transgender don't kill you. But
Very good point. Talking about gays doesn't kill anybody. She's probably not going to be able to go deeper than that. I don't know what he's about to say, but I'm pretty sure probably not going to address what she just said. He's going to do what he's always been doing, deflect, change the topic, talk about something else. Or he's going to make some fake rebuttal to what she's saying. I've seen this used very effectively. He'll say something and say it with confidence, like he's making a point, but he's not actually making a point. Well, that is something separate from what we're talking about. We're talking about one thing, you're talking about something else. And if you're not paying attention, you might miss the trick.
Subject, let's talk guns. No, I'm talking about.
Is he going to respond to what she said? I'm feeling very optimistic. I do feel that this woman, pure speculation, of course, but I feel like she knows he's a bullshit artist. And she wishes that she had the ability to, and maybe there's a little frustration there, right? She's trying to have a good, serious conversation. He's dancing around on whatever. And What is she to do in a situation like this?
Let me talk now. I'm talking about, when we're talking about young people and children, then let's go across the board now. Let's go across the board. Now. Again.
Completely didn't respond to what she said, right? As expected. He's got nothing to say. And that's the thing about these kinds of conversations. I want people to get outside of who's right and who's wrong, right? The thing I think that's important to understand is that he doesn't believe the things he's saying. He's not being genuine. So this is not a disagreement. This is not a he feels things should be done this way and these people think it should be done the other way. Very likely they all agree, right? Very likely they all agree fundamentally on what they're talking about. But because he's a dishonest, corrupt politician, he has to be contrarian to what they're saying. He's got to go with the buzzwords and the rhetoric that his party, right? So even if they say something that's a good point, he agrees with it, he's not going to agree with it. He's going to say, well, what about CRT?
Do you not agree that babies, young black boys and young black girls are shot down every weekend by black people?
Again, back to Chicago. He doesn't want to talk about, and think about that. Again, this is not a disagreement. If he disagrees about what happened in Texas and how we should prevent it, he would be making his case. The only reason that he would have for keep talking about other things is if he knows he's wrong. And he can't defend his position. Even as a corrupt politician, right? This is what he does, right? He does this for a living. So he should be at a severe advantage to these people and be able to argue his position. But instead, he's choosing to deflect about Chicago. Why in the hell does a man from Georgia, go to Texas, to talk about Chicago?
And you don't see these rallies. Do you see these rallies? No, you don't. So in Atlanta, Georgia, when an 8-year-old baby girl was shot through the car and killed, when that 1-year-old baby girl in New York was shot.
Now he's talking about Georgia. Who goes to Texas to talk about Chicago and Georgia?
Killed in a stroller. Where was the outrage? So all I'm just saying, if we care about lives, hold on now. If we care about lives, then let's care about all.
Your views are hypocritical, Mr. Dawes. Mr. Dawes, you are hypocritical, Mr. Dawes. Your views are hypocritical. You don't want to admit that. What's talking to me? You don't want to admit that.
I'm going to make a good guess here. First of all, I don't know if did he intend to really talk to these people? Or did somehow situations, I mean, he could walk away. He doesn't have to be there. So I don't know. Maybe he's just dumb, you know, because it's like he's willing to talk to the people, but he's not actually really talking with them. He's just deflecting and dancing around. And why would he subject himself? He's not even prepared to argue his position. Like, what is the point of this? I don't even get how this could benefit him. And that's all politicians care about is benefit themselves. He's not willing to engage and actually talk to them, really have a conversation, right? He's not willing to argue his own positions. He's not making himself look particularly good. None of these people are getting converted to him. He's not doing anything that's going to convert them. He's not even trying to. I mean, he wouldn't think he's going to convert these people by saying, well, what about Chicago and what about Georgia? So what is he doing? You don't want to talk about the issues. You don't want to defend your position. And you're not trying to, I mean, why would he want to convert them? He's from Georgia. They're not going to vote for him. So I don't really know. Maybe this guy is just dumb.
Let me answer my question. You
can answer your question.
You don't want to admit the fact that the NRA has people like you, state legislators, our U.S. representatives, our senators, they got them in their pockets. You don't want to.
So see, he just made some level of point. The other stuff with the lady just saying, 18, but now he's talking about some corruption. Let's see how he runs away from this even faster than the other stuff. Let's see. And I haven't seen this. I don't know what he's going to do. Let's see.
Not in my pocket.
They're in your pocket.
Not in his pocket. That's his response. Not in my pocket. Right. He's not denying that it's in his colleague's pocket, but not in mine.
Now you're yelling. But if the NRA, wait, hold on. The NRA is the first civil rights organization ever founded. The NRA.
So they talk about them buying politicians. His response is they're the first civil rights organization. All this guy does is deflect. Them being the first civil rights organization has nothing to do with any current corruption that may or may not be going on. Either you agree that there's corruption going on, they bought the politicians, or you say, no, that's not true. But again, he doesn't want to engage in what these people are saying. He wants to change the topic. Oh, did you know that the NRA was the first civil rights organization? And did you know that the NRA has a black CEO? Like, what?
A lot of black folks.
I have seen you came out that building, guess what? Just because you black,
now it's
don't
about
make-
race?
You made it there, and I'm gonna let you know something. All black folks ain't our folks ain't our
So I'm gonna go to you now, because I'm an NRA member and I'm not going nowhere. And I'm gonna defend myself. I love the NRA, and I'm not backing down. So we need more God. We need more God in the kill.
He's not paid off by the NRA yet. I gotcha. Is he putting on an audition trying to get them checks? Come back. Look, I defended you guys in front of these people. is he dumb enough to think the NRA is going to want to pay him for this nonsense?
That's what we need, more God in his lives. There you go. That's what we need. Now what's that? What's next?
My man is holding a cross in his
Okay, go ahead. Who's next? Now you have your
Answer the question. Where was the NRA when those kids were killed?
Where were you when that baby girl was shot down in Atlanta, Georgia?
Oh, man. Oh, man, this guy. Wow.
A lot more people killed than George Floyd. A lot of black police officers were killed too. We're not talking about that.
No, we support. I support.
All right, I'm done with this guy. He doesn't want to talk about nothing. He is not engaged in any kind of like honest debate about. He's doing exactly what the entire Republican Party is doing. Playing games, changing the topic. Oh, the door and this and whatever. I'm a fearmonger about them coming to take your guns. Or I'm going to talk about Chicago. I'm going to try to play with statistics. Oh, do you know most crimes are not even committed by ARs? If we increase the age to 21, what you gonna do when a 21-year-old shoots up in school? Increase it to 25? And then when somebody 25, and then you keep increasing the age, and then pretty soon nobody gonna have a gun. Is that what it is? Slippery slope, slippery slope. You know goddamn well that the best thing to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. You know goddamn well. This is the Debate Me channel. Debate Me in the comment section below. Click on the like button, subscribe, smash that bell. Be well.